So in the last part, we saw how we can log in with Google, but we were still on the home page instead of going to the main activity, and we got an error. The error, actually, I took a look at that error, but that was nothing but my file wasn't properly synced. So I just cleaned the project and run the app again, and everything was working fine. Now we need to proceed to our auth state listeners to make sure that user logs in properly. So what we need to do actually is what wait, let me just check in. I accidentally deleted one thing from here, that is the auth Firebase auth dot get instance. Yeah, I deleted that accidentally. So everything is just like we left. Now we need to proceed to add an auth state listener. So I'm going to add in private Firebase auth state listener, and I'm going to call it auth listener. All right, then right after that, I'm going to say auth listener equals new Firebase auth state listener. All right, now obviously you guys know what this is. This just checks the change of the state, but many of you guys may thinking, if we are sending the users from login function, the email login function, by checking the user exist method, then why are we using the auth state listener for the Google? Now the reason is we can actually use the auth state listener for email as well, because without auth state listener we can't work with the Google sign in, and you can't really send the user. You can actually, but that's not the proper way. You can see that once task is successful, what you can do instead is just else, instead of just dismissing this, sorry, I forgot to change to dismiss, it was just on show. What you can actually do, instead of creating the auth state listener, you can simply inside the else statement in our function dismiss the progress and also create an intent to send the user to main page. But there is one more thing that we actually did in the previous parts, and that is check user exist. So I'm going to run that over here. So check user exist. So what it's going to do, it's going to check if the user exists, and then it's going to send us to the appropriate page that we should be. So what one thing that we need to include is an if statement to make sure that user is logged in to proceed with this function. So I'm going to say auth dot get current user, and if that is not equal to null, only then it should fire up. Now I'm going to run the app, and let's hit OK. So what we need to do is, let's remove the user that we created. Actually, this was me testing the app, and let me see that if there are any users inside here. Yep, we have. So I'm gonna delete that as well. Okay, so here is our app running now. Okay, let me just see what just happened. Right, the same error. Actually, I need to find a fix for this one, because this should not usually happen when we run the OK. So there must be something inside the onStart method. All right, nothing here. I guess if you guys are facing this problem, just comment it out and I'll be providing you a solution, or else I'm just gonna uninstall the app and install it again, because there are many times when we get this kind of error from not properly syncing it. So I'm gonna just tap in on the sign in button over here. So it's gonna start sign in, and once it's finished, let's see what happens. It's taking longer than usual, and okay. So inside our check user exist, I don't think that yeah, it took a little while, but it's working now. I guess that's because of slow internet connection, I guess. So it took us to the account setup page. Now that's exactly what we wanted. If our account is not set up, it should take us there. So I'm going to type in the name, and I'm going to select an image from the gallery. So I'm going to hide it for just me to select the image, because my gallery is filled with lots of WhatsApp images that people usually send me. And I'm going to choose this random image that I got from Google. I'm going to scale it. So remember, we are using the exact square. So I'm going to hit crop, and let's hit the finish setup button. Now there are a few more things that you still need to include to complete this login process. It's still not finished yet, and we have still so many things to implement and fix, because while the time I started recording the blog app tutorial series, that time I didn't plan it to took it to this long. I didn't want it to extend it, but now that we are actually implementing the login inside and inside a previously created app, we may face a lot of problems, and we will solve it. Don't worry about that. So it's gonna finish the login process. It's just taking too much time in my phone, because I guess there is some problem with my internet connection as well. So let it just finish. Once this is finished, it should take us to the main activity, and there what we will have. So we have implemented the Google sign-in. Let me know if you have any errors, and if you want to send me any text because I won't be really solve all the problems. I won't be able to solve the problems on YouTube. You can just message me on Twitter. So you can see that our user is added over here and logged in as well. So make sure that you like and subscribe the channel, and try out the articles website as well, and comment at least whatever articles you like, or if you have any suggestions for next articles or tutorials. So there it is. I'll be seeing you guys in next part with some more fixes and more features for our app. So see you guys.